Module 4, an overview of the National Ocean Service. Module 4 will introduce you to education programs within NOAA's National Ocean Service, or NOS. We recommend that you watch Module 1 prior to viewing this presentation, as it provides an overview of NOAA education and gives useful context for this module and other modules in this series. NOS's mission is to provide science-based solutions through collaborative partnerships to address evolving economic, environmental, and social pressures on our ocean and coasts. NOS has 3 priorities, which are coastal resilience through preparedness, response, and recovery, coastal intelligence, and place-based conservation. The blue boxes on this slide indicate major divisions of the National Ocean Service that include education as a core part of their mission. Additionally, NOS Education, the Office for Coastal Management, and the Office of National Marine Sanctuaries each have voting representatives on NOAA's Education Council, which we talked about in Module 1 and 2 of this series. Education in the National Ocean Service. NOS Education is located in the Communications and Education Division of the National Ocean Service's Office of Management and Budget. The primary focus of NOS Education is to support educators, both formal and informal, in building ocean, coastal, and climate literacy. Through a 3-pronged approach of educator professional development, online resources, and educational gaming, NOS Education translates science for educators and helps them deliver it to many educational audiences. NOS provides multiple avenues for professional development. The Climate Stewards Education Project helps educators better understand climate science, discern and locate credible climate science information, and bring that information to their audiences. Participants attend monthly climate science webinars and discussion groups. The ultimate goal is to enable project participants and their audiences to make informed decisions and take stewardship actions to mitigate or adapt to the consequences of increasing levels of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. NOS Education also provides a significant level of professional development through educator workshops. NOS partners with zoos, aquariums, science centers, universities, Sea Grant, and other NOAA offices to present 1 to 5 day virtual and in-person workshops. These events take national climate science themes and make them locally relevant through presentations, teaching and learning activities, and opportunities to see science in action. NOS websites and the National Science Teachers Association Learning Center offer thematically organized professional development materials online. These combine content knowledge with practical application for a variety of audiences. Offerings include tutorials and science content background on major areas of NOS science, as well as lesson plans and activities that include knowledge-building components for educators. Topics include the ocean and climate, tides and currents, and coral reefs, to name a few. NOS Education also supports educators by providing a variety of teaching resources in the form of activities, lessons and curricula, self-paced tutorials developed with the National Science Teachers Association, and a variety of online and traditional paper-based games. NOS Education strongly supports science education through gameplay. The NOAA Games portal on the NOS Education website is a one-stop shop for games developed at NOAA, including 2 multifaceted learning or serious games developed by NOS Education. Working with partners to provide venues for serious games development is another aspect of the program. By bringing together scientists, gamers, and educators at game jams, NOS Education and its government and industry partners are building a collaborative infrastructure for science game development and testing. The resulting products make science learning fun for all ages. The Office of National Marine Sanctuaries. The Office of National Marine Sanctuaries, or ONMS, serves as the trustee for a network of underwater parks encompassing more than 600,000 square miles of marine and Great Lakes waters. This includes a system of 13 national marine sanctuaries and the Papahanaumokuakea and Rose Atoll Marine National Monuments. For the first time since 2000, NOAA has announced its intention to designate new sanctuaries under the National Marine Sanctuaries Act. There are currently 2 sites that have been added to the inventory of areas NOAA may consider for designation as national marine sanctuaries. These are represented by the yellow squares on the slide. The National Marine Sanctuaries Act authorizes the Secretary of Commerce to protect areas of the marine environment with special national significance due to their conservation, recreational, ecological, historical, scientific, cultural, archaeological, educational, or aesthetic qualities by designating them as national marine sanctuaries. This law includes a mandate for education, which states that activities may include education of the general public, teachers, students, national marine sanctuary users, and ocean and coastal resource managers. In addition, the Act allowed for the creation of the National Marine Sanctuary Foundation, which is dedicated to supporting the National Marine Sanctuary system through education and research initiatives, fundraising, public engagement, and advocacy. The National Marine Sanctuary Foundation has also supported other NOAA offices and programs. The mission of National Marine Sanctuary Education is to inspire ocean and climate literacy and conservation through the National Marine Sanctuaries. Education programs vary throughout the system and may include formal education, teacher workshops, informal education, volunteer programs, public outreach events, and curriculum development. The sanctuary system manages 9 visitor centers, which conduct numerous education programs, as well as other programs done in partnership with other organizations. In addition, the Office of National Marine Sanctuaries manages the Dr. Nancy Foster Scholarship Program, which supports master's and doctoral studies, particularly by women and minority students in oceanography, marine biology, and maritime archaeology. Education staff are found in each of the divisions marked with a red star. At headquarters, education is in the Education and Outreach Division, which also holds the web, social media, and film staff. There are 4 education staff within this division at headquarters. Additionally, at each of the 14 field sites, there is an education coordinator. Most sites have 1 education coordinator, while a few larger sites such as Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary or Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary, have several educators led by a team lead and additional education support staff, such as education specialists or education staff at visitor centers. Education priorities vary based on the resources protected at each site. For example, some sites' educational programs focus on shipwrecks and maritime heritage, while others may focus on whales or ecosystem-based education. Many sites protect both cultural and natural resources and have a variety of educational offerings to reflect the diversity of those resources at the site. The education team works closely together to enhance our educational programs across the system. The programs are diverse and represent the diverse local communities at the sanctuaries. Many programs strive to encourage stewardship, and all programs are systematically evaluated. The Office for Coastal Management, or OCM. The Office for Coastal Management was established in 2014 when NOAA combined 2 offices, the Coastal Services Center and the Office of Ocean and Coastal Resource Management. A top priority for NOAA's Office for Coastal Management is to unify efforts to make coastal communities more resilient. Many organizations are involved, including the private sector, nonprofits, the scientific community, and all levels of government. The Office for Coastal Management works to be a unifying force, providing unbiased NOAA data and tools and opportunities for the community to come together to define common goals and find ways to work together. Issues run the gamut from endangered species to erosion to generating better building codes for storm-resistant buildings. The office comprises 3 divisions: the Learning Services Division, the Science and Geospatial Services Division, and the Stewardship Division. Education elements indicated by red stars fall under the Learning Services Division and the Stewardship Division. The Learning Services Division works to inspire, educate, and enable people to take actions to ensure healthy and resilient coastal communities. The division develops and provides an innovative suite of educational products and training services that meets the information needs of students and the coastal management community. The Learning Product Development Program develops a range of innovative instructional products and trainings that translate science and package information to promote learning, action, and decision-making for a range of coastal community audiences. The Stewardship Division administers national coastal management programs such as the Estuarine Research Reserve System and the Coral Reef Conservation Program, among others. The Ecosystem Program focuses on coastal habitat and landscape scale conservation. It oversees funding, planning, and coordination of the National Estuarine Research Reserve System, also called NERRS, and the Coastal and Estuarine Land Conservation Program. The Coral Reef Conservation Program leads and coordinates NOAA's efforts to manage, understand, and protect coral reef ecosystems. These efforts include mapping, conducting monitoring and strategic research, increasing effectiveness of coral reef protected areas, reducing pollution, and strengthening management capacity in states and territories. The program also leads NOAA's role as co-chair of the U.S. Coral Reef Task Force. The NERRS program and the Coral Reef Conservation Program are the parts of the Stewardship Division that have historically included education efforts and have staff devoted to education. However, at the present time, the Coral Reef Conservation Program does not have a staff member dedicated to education. The National Estuarine Research Reserve System, or NERRS. NERRS is a network of 28 areas representing different biogeographic regions of the United States that are protected for long-term research, monitoring, education, and coastal stewardship in support of coastal zone management. Established by the Coastal Zone Management Act of 1972, as amended, the reserve system is a partnership program between NOAA and the coastal states. NERRS provides a vehicle to increase understanding and awareness of estuarine systems and improve decision-making among key audiences to promote stewardship of the nation's coastal resources. NERRS programs advance people's literacy, appreciation, and ability to make science-based decisions that result in resilient communities, healthy habitats, and coastal stewards. Each reserve is a living outdoor classroom that advances estuary and data literacy and provides meaningful hands-on educational experiences for adults, children, and teachers. Reserve education activities are guided by national plans that identify goals, priorities, and implementation strategies for these programs. Education and training programs, interpretive exhibits, and community outreach programs integrate elements of NERRS science, research and monitoring activities, and ensure a systematic, multifaceted, and locally focused approach to fostering stewardship. Education objectives include increasing the capacity of teachers and students to understand and use NERRS and NOAA resources for place-based and inquiry-based learning, expanding work with diverse audiences to build capacity for community learning and stewardship actions that improve resilience of estuaries and coastal watersheds, providing and advancing application of science-based tools, information, and planning approaches used by coastal decision makers to foster resilience in estuaries and coastal communities, and enhancing integrated opportunities in research, resource management, education, and stakeholder engagement that foster the next generation of coastal professionals and stewards. Examples of NERRS education programs include the K-12 Estuary Education Program, or KEEP, helps students and teachers learn about the essential coastal and estuary concepts, develop data literacy skills, and strengthen problem-solving skills to tackle the complex environmental issues we face on the coast. Teachers on the Estuary, or TOTE, is a component of the KEEP program. It strives to impact student learning by preparing their teachers to be effective estuary and watershed educators. In particular, TOTE improves educators' and students' understanding of the environment using local examples and the reserve's research while providing resources and experience to support the incorporation of estuary and watershed topics into formal and informal teaching settings. And finally, the conservation action education programs foster behavioral change to promote resource conservation. These programs focus on audiences whose choices directly impact the integrity of our estuaries and their associated watersheds, but who are outside the NERRS Coastal Training Program and formal education programs. The Marine Debris Program. NOAA's Marine Debris Program is part of the Office of Response and Restoration within the National Ocean Service. The vision of the Marine Debris Program is our global ocean and its coasts free from the impacts of marine debris. The program's mission is to investigate and prevent the adverse impacts of marine debris. Toward that end, the program supports not only research and removal of marine debris, but seeks to prevent it through education and outreach. The Marine Debris Program's educational offerings target a variety of audiences among diverse communities through both formal K-12 and informal education. These educational offerings have a common aim to raise awareness about the issue of marine debris, discuss solutions to it, and inspire changes in behavior that lead to the reduction in the amount of debris that ends up in the ocean. This is a small program, so the majority of its educational offerings are provided by supporting external partners through grants. NOAA's Marine Debris Program offers a wide variety of educational products. The three shown on this slide best represent some of the program's unique offerings. An Educator's Guide to Marine Debris is a teaching tool for introducing K-12 students to the subject of marine debris with a focus on STEM objectives. It is designed as a standalone teaching tool or can be used to supplement lessons for educators in both formal and informal settings. The Trash Talk video is a mini documentary on the topic of marine debris that can be broken down into 6 2-minute segments. The video segments cover what marine debris is, where it comes from, its impacts, why marine debris is so common, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and what we can all do about marine debris. Using both animation and live footage, these videos introduce the subject of marine debris in an interesting and engaging way and can be a great way to start a conversation with students. Finally, there is the Trash Talk webinar for educators. This webinar runs educators through a variety of hands-on marine debris activities that may be useful in either a classroom or informal education setting. In the next module, you'll learn more about another NOAA line office, the Office of Oceanic and Atmospheric Research, or OAR. Within OAR, we'll talk about the Climate Program Office, the National Sea Grant College Program, and the Office of Ocean Exploration and Research. Please take a few moments to fill out a survey regarding this module. We welcome suggestions for improving this presentation. The link to this survey is available on the YouTube page for this video presentation and can be used for any of the modules in this overview of NOAA Education.